It's a very good afternoon to the Gelding on a special edition of That's Racing, and even more special, Gelding, we're not in lockdown anymore.
Freedom Day, Professor.
Freedom Day, Gelding. Oh, dear, oh dear. I don't know what you call it, but I don't know what you call it, but I don't call it Freedom Day.
Don't you?
No.
All right. I'll wait and see what comes of it, Professor. But yeah. Group 1 racing at the Valley tonight.
Yes, we've got 2 race meetings separated by about 7 or 8 hours, Gelding.
I suppose off here we're talking 18 races in the space of 5:15 tonight and probably a bit after 5:15 tomorrow. About just on the same track. Rail in the True. I presume Rail will be in the True tomorrow for the Cox Plate.
Yes, it will.
So why don't we have 18 races with rain predicted in the next couple of hours and to rain all night, and then run your main race for the year worth $5 million on a track that's had 16 other races on it before with rain.
Well, Gelding, why do they do that?
I don't. You keep asking me questions on why do committees do things, Professor. Why do racing committees do things? Really? England, Royal Ascot, right? 4 days, 5 days of racing. They have 30 races in the 5 days. They only have 6. And they've got a track that is that wide it could fit 3 Melbourne tracks on it, And here we've got Moonee Valley, the smallest track probably in Australia of all the metropolitan ones, with no room to move they can move the rail in or out, but they could cut the field down. Trying to get extra revenue by the TAB turnover, Professor. And they might ruin their main race.
Well,
it's called Greed, isn't it? Didn't that die with the movie?
What movie was that, Gelding?
Oh, Greed is Good, Wall Street.
Oh, Greed is Good, Wall Street. Well, yeah, you'd think people would learn lessons, but they don't, Gelding.
Maybe some of these committees were probably around in the 80s, Professor.
Or earlier, Gelding.
Yes.
All right. There's 8 races on the card, Gelding. The first is at 5:15 p.m. The tracks.
Let's get some good news and some winners, Professor.
Yeah, the tracks are good for the rail, as you said, is in the true position, and the feature race, the Group 1 weight for age Manikato Stakes. That's had more positions on a race day than the Kama Sutra.
Well, 4 different race days or time slots, Professor, in a 15-year period for a Group 1 race. Yeah. If you don't want to do it, like imagine that Manikato Stakes on 2 weeks ago before the Everest. We would have had a sensational field. What have we got now? None of the horses that ran in the Everest last Saturday are here. They're all going to be here for the daily stakes at Flemington. So I don't know. Maybe they should have a good hard look at themselves, Professor, and cut this into one meeting, have 10 races, make it their Saturday and make it their mega day. Anyway, down from the high horse, let's get a winner in it.
All right, Gelding, what are your 2 red hot tips for this evening's racing?
I'd like to, Professor. 1 early, race 2, number 5. Thought of that. Mara Eustace trained horse, found its form again, lost it there for a little bit. Now it's back, won its last 2. Linda Meach aboard, 6 horses in the field. This horse likes to lead. Worried about rain, Professor. Heavy rains, of course, predicted about 6 to hit Melbourne about 6 o'clock tonight. This race is 5:45. So, look, if it stays like this, I think the horse will just jump, lead and win. Hopefully that's the same. And look, it's got form on a wet track. So hopefully hopefully it can jump, run, lead and win for us, Professor. Then we've got to go in the main race, the Manikato Stakes. Tossed up here there's a couple of horses in this which we've backed continuously, Professor. Looked at integrating, but that let us down last time. So I've gone a horse that's a bit of a winner and a bit of a a pin-up type of horse in Sabatol's, number 4, Professor. Now trained by Tony and McAvoy, was previously the main horse in Darwin, Professor. And from 30-odd starts has won 17 races. So it's now come down south from Darwin, competing against some of the better horses and doing quite well. So my 2 tips, Professor, early in the day, race 2, number 5, into race 7, number 4. What do you like, Professor?
All right, Gelding. I'm also going a little bit early. Race 3 over 2,040 metres. Horse 1, Only Words, out of barrier 2, had 17 starts for 4 wins and 2 placings. A win rate of 24%, Gelding, and a place rate of 35%. So that place rating's down a little bit, but can't go past its recent form. Ran 4th at Moonee Valley in a Group 2 to So You Assume, and So You Assume's a very good horse. That was in the stock stakes. And then followed
I think you might have been on it that day, Professor.
So You Assume?
Yes.
Yes, I might have been on it that day.
Yes, so we rated highly.
Yes, and followed it up with a 4th at Caulfield in a Group 3 to in the Ladies' Day Vars. Being ridden by the informed jockey at the moment, Gelding, Brett Preble. He ran 2nd in the Geelong Cup on Dr. Drill yesterday.
Yeah.
So didn't do anything wrong, but he's had a great run in Group 1 races. We saw him win the Caulfield Cup last weekend with Incentivise. So he's in career form. His career win rate's 14%, but currently over his last 50, including a whole lot of Group 1s, 18%.
Fantastic. Very successful. And Professor, as you said, this horse drops from group class down in class, trained by leading trainer in Australia and Chris Waller.
Yes.
Ridden by the informed jockey. Good reason to back it, Professor.
Yeah, you can currently get $2.40 Gelding. So I'd be advising punters to get on now, because I don't think it'll start much higher than that or much longer than that. Waller's also in career form, 16% win rating over his last 50.
Yes, and we hope he wins the Cox Plate tomorrow, Professor.
Oh, well, this will be a good pipe opener for him.
That would be, wouldn't it? Just take the pressure off. And your second tip, Professor?
All right, a little bit of a roughie. This is each way odds Gelding.
Well, this is the one I like about you. You come up with a surprise one for the listeners.
Yeah, well, I've been following this horse in the country, Gelding. Race 6, horse 4, Just Jake.
Wow. Go on, Professor.
Yeah, from barrier 10 over 1,200 metres, 27 starts for 6 wins and 11 placings. The good news is that it's won its last 2 starts at Ballarat and at Benalla. And I specifically looked at the last one at Benalla. I think it was a Sunday, Gelding, and I was watching it because you tipped some horses in those races, and I was thinking of backing Just Jake, and I didn't, and kicked myself afterwards. It paid about $12 at its last win, Gelding, so I was a little bit upset.
Yeah, could imagine. And before that, paid $13.
Yeah.
So, and what odds is it tonight?
All right, it's $17 tonight, Gelding, but I'm looking at...
And we're on, Professor.
And we're on, and it's $4.20 currently for the place. So that's excellent each way odds. Alana Kelly, who...
it's like a win, Professor.
Sorry?
It's like a win.
It is like a win, Gelding. Alana Kelly, who you've had some experience with, is piloting the horse tonight.
Yes, we've had some experience with her.
Yeah,
once.
And once, and trained by
More
Hannah.
than enough.
More than enough. Well, hopefully she does better tonight, Gelding.
Well, she couldn't. Oh, no, she could. Yeah, I won't say too much more.
And trained by Hannah Powell from Kilmore.
Yeah, Hannah. Never heard of Hannah.
She's got 3 horses, Gelding.
All right.
In work?
Well, I'll tell you what, of the 3 horses, she's got one firing quite well, Professor.
Yes, Gelding. Now, listen, her win rate's 7%, but over her last 50 starts, it's 12%. So that's not too bad.
Well, I think this horse Just Joke may have a bit to do with that.
I think so, Gelding. I think so. All right, now, Gelding, the Professor's Parlay, the very successful Professor's Parlay. That
happened to get up again last week, did it?
Oh, yes, it did.
And some of our listeners, rumours coming back that some of the listeners have done fairly well out of it, Professor.
Well, one of our first-time listeners, Gelding, went to town and topped up on it.
Yes.
And had a very successful afternoon on the punt.
Could the rumour have been a monkey or an elephant or a rhinoceros? Or?
Well, there was a fair bit of money wagered on the Professor's Parlay, and it came home at $4.20 to 1. So,
conditions applying to the successful Professor's Parlay is?
Well, what I noticed from the information that was given me, that the punter boosted from $4.20 and I think got $4.75. That's money for old rope, Gelding.
Professor, we look forward to catching up to our first time listener.
Yeah, we do, don't we?
Will we be naming him?
No, we can't name
or
him.
her.
No, we can't name him or her. It's it's a cone of silence, Gelding.
Okay.
All right, now the Professor's Parlay race.
It has got a hole for a brown paper bag. This cone of silence.
Well, hopefully they've got some brown paper bags.
Yes. And hopefully the judge has got his out this week.
Maybe. Well, not if he's been following Omen bets, Gelding.
Okay.
Well, there's a tale of woe, but there's a tale of woe with the judge. He made a recommendation to follow the gelding, but the people who he was betting with didn't follow the gelding. Oh. And the gelding did well last week, and guess what happened to the judge? 0.
What did he get back?
Nil return.
For an investment of?
Oh, I don't know, but it was a little bit.
Oh, okay. Oh, ouch.
Yeah. Ouch.
Ooh, ouch.
All right, Gelding, the agreed bet of the night, race 2, horse 5, thought of that.
Yes.
And that's currently showing $1.75. So let's parlay that into the Premier League. Chelsea to beat Norwich. Chelsea won 6 of 8, and on top of the ladder, Norwich right at the other end. Stone motherless bottom, haven't won a game out of 8, had a couple of draws. Goal difference, goal difference. Chelsea plus 13. Norwich, the worst defence in the league, minus 14. So a lot to like there about a win for Chelsea. Yep. And let's parlay that into the NFL. The gridiron, Green Bay Packers have won 5 out of 6 with a points differential of plus 8, playing Washington, who've won 2 out of 6, but have got the worst defence in the league. They've got a points differential of minus 50, but have allowed 186 points in 6 matches. So that's at a clip of they've allowed better than 30 a game. Gelding, you can't win many games if you're allowing more than 30 points a game.
And no one knows the Green Bay form like yourself, Professor. All sweet with the quarterback now, once the return.
Oh, yeah, the quarterback's going well.
Yeah, he's back. Everything's attuned again. Everyone's loving one another again, aren't they?
Oh, hey, listen, they lost the first game of the season. They haven't lost one since.
Yeah. Yep. That'll happen if you have disputes over the break. Yes.
Exactly.
Mm-hmm.
All right,
Professor. Very keen on tomorrow. But show goes on tomorrow at 10 a.m.
Yes, that's racing tomorrow at 10 a.m. So until then, it's good luck.
And good punting.